Medicare for everyone is the absolute end of all government control over the care of our health, the end of all government control over our health care and who we choose to be your doctor, or if we want to change doctors and maybe you want to change your job and you have a pre-existing condition, that's no longer ever going to be a thing ever again. Medicare for all also represents you're going to save more money, which means you're going to have more money to put towards other things, whatever you want that to be. It doesn't matter. Medicare for all also represents an awesome different rationing of care that we have right now. So I'm going to go over 3 big reasons that people against single-payer Medicare for all usually recite, and I'm going to turn those 3 reasons on their head and show you why those are actually 3 perfect reasons to be in favor of Medicare for everyone under a single payer system. So here they are. I will start with government control. And that's typically what you hear, not just constituents, but people on certain, well, both aisles of Congress for that matter. They always say, I don't want some bureaucrat in Washington taking complete control over my health care. And when they use the word bureaucrat, very negative connotation, as it probably should for good reason. But it sort of solidifies the idea that, oh my God, the government's going to control my health care. No, that's what we have right now. The government controlling your health care with heavy influence from the private insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies, through legalized bribes, otherwise known as donation money, which is so normalized we just call it donation money instead of what they really are, legalized bribes, because it creates an enormous, obnoxious, egregious conflict of interest that in any other area of business, doctors, lawyers, judges, they'd be thrown in jail. It's illegal as hell. But in politics, it's normalized. You can take bribe money all day long, and they never, when a politician gives a speech, they don't disclose that they're on the take from the interests that they're protecting. They never disclose that. Gee, I wonder why. Because they lose all their support, as they rightfully should, which motivates them to not disclose that they're on the take. Just so you know, the politicians against single-payer Medicare for all, they're on the take. They are on the take with their legalized bribes they get all the time from private health insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies. So we cannot have a principled disagreement. It's a dishonorable disagreement with those guys. If I'm talking to somebody that's not on the take from anybody, or a politician, then that's a different story. We can have an honorable disagreement, a big disagreement, but it's still honorable. So moving past that, government control. We're just talking about how your health care is being financed. Right now it's financed from you. So under Medicare for all, we'd finance it from the government. And it's a single payer, which means administrative costs are out of the picture, or almost entirely out of the picture. Something to the tune of $500 billion per year. $500 billion a year saved on that one instance, that one variable alone, administrative costs, because there doesn't need to be those administrative costs anymore. There's just coming from a single payer. They don't have to, at the hospital, the doctor's office, they don't have to go through all this, these hoops and the paperwork and figuring out your coverage and your provider, what they cover, what they don't cover, and this and that, control. So while you're getting your control back over your health care and who you want your doctor to be, and if you want to change jobs without your health insurance being a thing, or if you got a pre-existing condition, all that stuff, gone. It's like a clean slate. It's just completely gone. That doesn't happen too much in many instances of life. How wonderful it can happen here with your health care. So healthcare, Medicare for everybody under a single payer, that also means that nobody will ever again in the USA, the richest country in the world, nobody will ever die again because they don't have access to basic healthcare coverage. Nobody will go bankrupt ever again in this country because they get sick. It's the end of all that nonsense, all that evil wickedness. It's not just different, it is evil, it's wicked, and we got to get past that. So Medicare for everybody. Complete control over who you want to see, when you want to see, change doctor because you don't like your doctor for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. You're in complete control. So that's the big one people throw at you is, the government just takes over. No, just the financing end of it, the financial end of it. So instead of the financial burden being on you and your employer, the financial burden is now on the United States government via taxes. The health care, 100% control, government is out of it once and for all. You're in control, 100%. Now, that goes to the next thing, the taxes. Another big one, people say it would be too costly. We can't do single payer Medicare for everybody. It would cost too much money. Okay, I don't know the numbers, but I do know there's a ratio of about 2 to 1 in savings. So conceptually, that's all we need to understand. Let's say you spend $1 in being covered through your taxes, you save 2. I want that deal. I can do basic, simple, fucking first grade level math. Yeah, I'm going to shell out $1 in taxes, but I'm going to get 2 back in return. Yeah, give me that deal. And it gives me complete 100% control over my healthcare coverage and who I want my doctor to be, and the government has no control anymore. Government control is in the past, and I save more money. Yeah, the cost variable is a good thing. That sounds like a pretty good deal for anybody that can do first grade level math. So the next time somebody says to you that single payer Medicare for all, it's not affordable, you say, no, it is affordable. We can do first grade level math. You spend $1, you get 2 back in savings. I want that deal. It's just a matter of first grade level math, friends. That's all. So another thing that people complain about, we can't do it because of rationing of care. Well, every country in the world that has healthcare has a ration of care. In the United States, our ration of care is based on the size of your wallet. If you are going to live or die, if you're going to die, it's because your wallet's not big enough. So in every other country that has a modern healthcare system, a single payer of some sort, that's not a thing. No, the rationing of care is based on the need of care. So if you wake up, imagine this, you wake up in the morning, something's not right, something feels very wrong. You go to a hospital, a doctor, a clinic, whatever, goes back to control. All of this complements each other. You're in control. The government has no control. Your private health insurance company has no control because they're now out of the picture. So you go where you want, and you're not going to be denied. If it's some elective thing, you might have to wait a bit because there's other people that are facing life and death situations, and they're going to get in right away. What a wonderful way to do rationing of care instead of the size of your wallet. I'd argue the size of your wallet is evil, it's wicked, and that needs to be yesterday as soon as possible. So, those are the 3 big reasons. Government takeover, now it's the opposite. So 3 reasons why people argue against single-payer Medicare for everyone. Those are actually 3 perfect based on objective measurements. These are 3 perfect reasons to be in favor of it. You say you don't want government control, then Medicare for all is the answer because it removes the government control and puts you in control 100%. So that's a reason to be in favor of it by objective measures. It's going to cost too much? No. You're going to get double that back in savings. I don't know the numbers, but remember, conceptually, the ratio is about 2 to 1 savings. Spend $1, you're going to get $2 back. So that reason against it is actually by empirical, observable measurements, objective measurements, that is a perfect reason to be in favor of Medicare. The rationing of care. Well, this is more of a moral issue here. And I'll just say it. This isn't just a difference of opinions. To decide if someone's going to live or die because of their wallet rather than the need of care. If someone's in favor of the wallet rationing, they're an evil, disgusting, wicked, vile, cretinous human being. I don't know how much more clear. It's not a difference of opinion. It is a flat-out inferior thing to philosophy to subscribe to. So there you have it. Please feel free to share this with people out there. You can also, probably maybe just as important, start making phone calls to your representatives, state, national, local, state, all those things. Your mayor, your House representative, your senators, president, whomever, and start making these phone calls and just say, hey, this is the new litmus test. Support single-payer Medicare for everybody, and I'll support you next election. If you don't stand behind this, even if you're right on every other issue, I'm voting you out of office, and I'll tell all my friends too. And hey, that's a grass efforts movement right there, man. That is as grass effort as it gets. So let's do that, okay? And remember, the best healthcare you could give yourself is really the day-to-day decisions you make in your life, what you eat, if you're going to exercise. But even still, that gives us a degree of control, a much larger degree of control if we're even going to get sick in the first place. a catastrophic accident could still happen, like, a car accident, you're all mangled up. Imagine not having to sort through the bullshit with a private health insurance company about how you're going to be covered and this and that, and you have out-of-pocket expenses. They cover some, you have to have out-of-pocket expenses. There's a deductible, and you still have to pay monthly premiums. Imagine all that stuff being gone. There's no deductible, there's no medical payment, there's no co-payment, there's no premiums. All that stuff removed, and there's no red tape to go through. You just go wherever you want to go, whatever treatment center, hospital, doctor, boom, you're in. Can you imagine that? Oh my God, that's awesome. So that's what we have to fight for until we have it. And the writing's on the wall. Medicare for Everyone has a 62% favorability rate. It is September 22nd, 2017. One aisle of our two-party system is 80% in favor of it. The other aisle of our two-party system, for the first time in history, more of them are in favor of it than against it. And collectively, we are about 62% in favor of it. And I expect that number to climb as our current system of care continues to get worse with implementing more government control, which Medicare does away with completely. As it gets worse with covering less people and more people die because of it, because their wallet isn't big enough, because we ration on wallet instead of need of care, which Medicare erases all of that and gets on the moral side of the issue. God, that pisses me off. That is so sad. And everything else I just talked about in this video. So please share this with your friends and get this message out there. It's not about me, it's the messaging that is so incredibly important. And more people need to make those phone calls. I've called a few. I have, and I was polite, respectful, but I laid down the law, man. No wiggle room. You're either for it, and I'm for you, or you're against it. Therefore, I'm not voting you. I'm voting you out next time, and I'll tell all my friends to, suggest to them that they may want to do the same thing too. Because we no longer want a system of government that is on the take, legalized bribes, because then we can't have honorable disagreements. We can't have a discussion about anything principled because we have no idea what the politicians really believe, where their conviction is, other than they have a conviction to represent their donors because they take money from these private organizations. So we need a constitutional amendment. I mean, I'm talking no kidding around here, man. This is all serious, balls out. We actually need an amendment to our Constitution barring all private money out of politics so that politics is 100% clean instead of corrupt, where politicians are bribed and then they represent their donors' interests instead of us. We either have a democracy or we don't. And right now, we don't have a democracy. We have a kleptocracy, a government that makes decisions against the interests of its own people. Medicare for All, 62% popular. It's not a constitutional issue. Why don't we have it? Because it's not a democracy. It's a kleptocracy. And we get rid of that by amending our Constitution to ban by law all private money out of politics, and we run clean, 100% clean elections from here on out. Then when something has a 62% favorability rating, we get it. End of story. Done. Please share this. This is so important, okay? That's all I've got for now. More coming soon, I'm sure, because all these arguments that are being made against Medicare for Everyone, if you look at the observable, empirical, objective measurements that are out there, every God-blessed one of them puts those arguments that are being made against single-payer Medicare for everyone in favor of Medicare single-payer for everybody. And I just went over all that like 3 or 4 times, so I won't do it again. So I hope this helps, and absolutely, I hope it sways some of you. If somebody has an argument against it, I'm an open-minded guy. Hey, lay it on me, man. Just be prepared. I'm a very objective person. If there's measurements that shows your argument to actually be in favor of it, I will let you know. But I'd love to hear anything nonetheless anyway, to just to see there might be something out there. And even if I do get an argument that's like, oh wow, this one is actually objectively against it, just so you know, if there's 1,000,001 reasons for it and there might happen to be one reason against it, I'm still overwhelmingly in favor of it. So just so you know. All right, guys, take care. Mwah! Don't get sick, because if you do and you don't have millions of dollars, you are fucked. Bye for now.